Welcome. This is Robert Whipple. It is August 7th, 2012, and during this lecture for NCR 530, I will cover understanding the major concepts, empirical research, and historical development of online dispute resolution. This is one of the learning outcomes for the course, and in the next few days I will go over all of the 5 learning outcomes. Just to review, the learning outcomes listed on the syllabus are: synthesize the skills of face-to-face negotiation, conflict resolution, and peace building; analyze the cost and benefits of online dispute resolution; analyze the challenges online dispute resolution poses to neutrals, parties, and system designers; and understand the ODR applications of negotiation support systems, mobile devices, and virtual reality environments. At this time, you have read many of the articles that will provide you the background knowledge you need to keep up with the lectures, and you have also participated in several simulations that will help you understand some of the concepts and possibilities of online dispute resolution. I updated the lectures to match the learning objectives based on notes and conversations that I had at the International Forum for Online Dispute Resolution in Prague in 2012, and also 2 recent publications that had many articles from experts in the field. One is Mobile Technologies for Conflict Management, Online Dispute Resolution, Governance, Participation, edited by Marta Poblet. And another one which I used quite a bit more, that had many authors that are experts in the field, is Online Dispute Resolution Theory and Practice, and it was edited by Mohammed Abdel Wahab from Egypt, Ethan Catch, who is from the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, and Daniel Rainey, who works for the National Mediation Board in the United States. These books are very comprehensive, and they're also quite expensive. They provide a lot of technical and legal detail that is beyond the scope of this class. So I've summarized some of the materials and pulled out the applicable quotes that are aligned to the learning objectives for this course. I have seen some major concepts develop over time related to online dispute resolution. Now, these concepts have not yet evolved into theories. They're still at the hypothesis stage, and they have not yet been tested by empirical research. I'm just putting these out for discussion. One of the major concepts is negotiation, conflict resolution, and peace building are processes. They are not tied to a jurisdiction or geographical location. So far, online dispute resolution systems have been used to resolve cross-border and interstate disputes, mostly involving commercial transactions. So the technology has actually gone over borders, and people on both sides or many sides of borders have resolved their disputes. Next, face-to-face meetings and direct contact among parties are not necessary to resolve disputes. This has been proven over and over again through online dispute resolution for commercial cases for companies like eBay. People have had disputes. It has been mediated online and they have been resolved. Next, online trust can be established without parties ever meeting face to face. Every time people go on to do transactions for banking, set up account, give personal information, they are doing an online transaction. The more people do these transactions, the more they learn to trust the systems. And it is becoming no longer necessary to go to a bank teller to hand them money or to drive up window and give receipts. Most of that can be done online now. So people have trusted banking to online security. Therefore, I can infer that they will trust their disputes to online systems. Dispute resolution processes can be integrated into new communication information technologies. So it started with the internet on computers, and the processes can also be integrated into the iPads and into the smartphones and other mobile devices. Next, neutral third or fourth parties do not need to be human. Computers can be effective negotiators or mediators. You are seeing this as students experimenting with systems like the Smart Settle. There is a negotiator on the other side sending proposals out using different algorithms to find what the optimal solution is. These systems are not yet perfect. There's still a lot of flaws in them, but they are starting to advance and they're working the bugs out. So you can see the potential that computers have in resolving disputes. Lastly, resolving disputes through technology is becoming more efficient than face-to-face processes. And this is evident in just the quantity of disputes that eBay is claiming to resolve. 60 million disputes a year. It would take many mediators to be able to resolve that many disputes. So the technology is becoming efficient, and as more cases are solved, the systems are being able to adapt to more complex cases and a greater variety of issues. Here I will go over some of the buzzwords or processes that are being designated as online dispute resolution processes. There are some tools out there that involve conflict analysis, which include online self-administered surveys about conflict style. There's tools that help isolate the variables of conflict or separate interest from positions. There's brainstorming tools, there's pre-negotiation research tools, and there's different tools for establishing the best alternative for a negotiated agreement. That's in addition to the different e-negotiation tools, e-mediation tools, e-facilitation tools, and many of these different tools or applications are hybrids of each other. So therefore, ODR processes can encompass many different online tools or processes. According to Catch, 10 years ago, many were skeptical of the need and potential of ODR. Today it is well understood. Most importantly, ODR, which was originally focused on disputes related to online activities, is now employed in offline disputes. Rather than finding disputes that can utilize ODR, the new challenge is finding tools that can deliver trust, convenience, and expertise for many different kinds of conflicts. Along with many cheerleaders and practitioners of online dispute resolution, there are many naysayers who don't believe that online dispute resolution can work, or else they see it as a threat to the traditional face-to-face mediation and dispute resolution processes. Some of these opponents include the traditional face-to-face mediators, arbitrators, lawyers, courthouse employees, customer service representatives, and human resource professionals. According to Susskind, online dispute resolution can be radically less expensive than face-to-face mediations. To quote Susskind, in these difficult economic times, ODR offers the promise of robust and yet radically less expensive dispute resolution. And while it may seem alien or outlandish for lawyers, policymakers, and opinion formers of today, few of these belong to the internet generation. Future generations for whom working and socializing online is second nature may regard ODR as an entirely natural facility, much more so than conventional courts. Unquote. Some trends I have observed with ODR providers is the list of providers keep changing and evolving with each generation improving upon the technologies of the last generation of providers. Companies integrate the ODR technologies into their existing processes. The technologies and ODR processes are shifting the third party to the least expensive supply of online mediators, which is often overseas in developing countries, and efficient ODR applications are becoming more efficient and cost effective than the least expensive supply of online mediators. So what's happening is we're seeing a trend move from face-to-face local mediators to people that are resolving disputes at a distance to computers that are replacing people to resolve disputes, both online and offline. Thus, the online dispute resolution processes are becoming more efficient and cost effective than traditional face-to-face dispute resolution processes. Ethan Catch describes a transformation of ODR providers. To quote Catch, during the internet bubble of 1999 to 2000, many ODR startups appeared and then disappeared. A few, such as SmartSettle, CyberSettle, and the Mediation Room, remain. eBay's original ODR provider, SquareTrade, shifted its attention from ODR to consumer warranties in 2006. ICANN and the Uniform Dispute Resolution Policy for resolving domain name disputes was instituted in 1999. When it began, it was largely an offline process, but over time it has become increasingly online. Face-to-face dispute resolution processes often are not appropriate to resolve these new types of disputes that have been generated by accelerated use of the internet. According to Thiessen, Minato, and Hebert, in their definition of the fourth party, When a negotiation problem is modeled, a computer can act as an intelligent agent using optimization algorithms that seek the best solution. Optimization algorithms utilize detailed and highly accurate information from all parties, information that they would never provide each other and in some cases not entrust to a human mediator. With anything other than the very simplest of cases, this optimization is beyond the capability of any unassisted human. Unquote. This takes me to sharing with you sources of information about online dispute resolution and the fourth party. Source of information that I use to stay current on the state of online dispute resolution is the National Center for Information Technology and Dispute Resolution at University of Massachusetts Amherst. They have a site, www.odr.info. Another is ODR Cyber Week that is hosted at Creighton University at www.adrhub.com. They have an upcoming ODR Cyber Week event that I encourage all of you to sign up for. There are the International Online Dispute Resolution Forums. The last one was in Prague in 2012. The next one will be in Montreal, Canada in 2013. You're taking a course that's offered by a university as part of a graduate program in online dispute resolution. There are a few other courses out there on the subject. The simulators, which include Smart Settle, the Fair Outcomes, iCourthouse, Madria, and the Virtual Mediation Lab, provide different opportunities to participate in online dispute resolution simulations. These technologies change annually, and I've noticed that there are much fewer providers of online dispute resolution simulations than there were a few years ago. The reason of this is because of different patents and the expense of developing these systems just for gaming. Next is the ODR book publishers. The largest ones are usually Jossie Bass, which has several books, 11 publications out of the Netherlands, and Springer. They've all published books on online dispute resolution. The Internet Research Center out of Concordia University in Canada has a great amount of research on negotiation support systems. The most extensive research in the field of online dispute resolution is on e-negotiation and negotiation support systems that is published through the Internet Research Center. Empirical research on online mediation and other processes is still limited to a few publications, which I have included in the course reference list. There still hasn't been any studies comparing the efficacy of face-to-face to online dispute resolution mediation using experimental or control groups. So therefore, there is still a lot of areas to research the efficacy of ODR. Academic courses in online dispute resolution go back less than 10 years, whereas mediations and alternative dispute resolution processes goes back thousands of years because examples of mediation are published in the Bible. 30 years ago, the first graduate program in conflict studies started at George Mason University. Now there are over 100 graduate programs dealing with some form of conflict resolution or peace building. With the development of these graduate programs, there has been an evolution of theory, which there's many books on conflict theories. There's been a proliferation of research which is translated into thousands of different studies published in academic journals on negotiation and conflict resolution processes. Also, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of books dealing with alternative dispute resolution, mediation, negotiation, conflict resolution, and so on. Online dispute resolution goes back less than 30 years. Well, maybe 120 if you include dispute resolution if it happened over telegraph. But really, online dispute resolution is less than 30 years old in a form that combines voice, data, and video over communication lines. And the theory, research, publications, and more developed academic study will follow. According to Wing and Rainey, the use of technology dependent channels of communication for dispute resolution has yet to be formally incorporated into mainstream teaching and training about how to conduct intervention activities. Despite these conditions, we note that the use of technology has begun to creep into practice with increasing momentum, often a manifestation of the ways in which the dispute resolution practitioner has incorporated the online environment into his or her own life, rather than being driven by theory or a set of techniques or strategies that are formalized into practice. The effectiveness and accelerated use of online dispute resolution may be frustrating to some traditional face to face mediators and alternative dispute resolution practitioners. The ODR is debunking many existing theories in dispute resolution. During this lecture, I have gone over some of the major concepts of online dispute resolution, and I look forward to any comments you will have about this on the discussion board. Take care.